funny thing is, there's something called the cosmic distance ladder. Have you ever heard of this? Cosmic distance ladder?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so the cosmic, how they get the distances to the planets and the sun and the stars and all this stuff, called the cosmic distance ladder. So first they got the thing they never measured, the radius of the Earth, and then they get the distance to the sun, and then they get the distance to the planets, and then they get the distance to the, you know what I mean, based upon a bunch of different things, different like redshift and parallax and Cepheid variables and supernova fucking explosions and blah blah blah. Okay, that's not important. Important is the first rung of that, the radius of the Earth, was never measured. So they've never measured the very first thing everything else is built upon. And like we've talked to astrophysicists, and we've talked to them about like, hey, where do you get the distances from? Well, we measure redshift, and then we go backwards, and they don't know that we're leading them back to the beginning. Okay, where'd you get the distance of the sun? And that's where it starts falling apart. Because you can't measure the distance of the sun by looking at it. They had to assume that Venus was the same size as the Earth, which they couldn't know by looking at it. And then they timed Venus going across the face of the sun. So if they know the size of Venus, and then Venus takes so long to go across the sun, they can get the size of the sun. But they don't know the size of Venus because they don't know the size of the Earth.
Yeah, you keep going backwards and backwards and backwards.
Yeah, so it's like
it is based in something that they have.
And then he was shocked. Yeah, he was totally shocked that, like, hold on, dude. So it can't even be measured in principle. So like, you can't even measure the radius of the Earth in principle. You'd have to go to the center of the Earth and then like take a tape measure and measure the surface. You can only calculate based upon assuming shit. So you can't actually measure it. So the whole cosmology, all of it, is based upon a value that's never been measured. Which is fucking, he never realized that, and he was kind of freaking out.